We'll be starting in a couple of minutes. I'm late, even though I tried to start everything 20 minutes earlier today, seeing as it's Chol HaMoed. Hopefully, B'ezrat Hashem, we'll start in 3-4 minutes. נו, תיכנסי. מה את נכנסת ככה כמו איזה אבלה? אבלה עולמית. Oh boy. Hello. עדים שמחה, גוד מועד לכולם. Sorry.
זה לא פתוח פה הסוכה?
אין פה סוכה, למטה. אין פה סוכה, יש רק למטה. כן. I started everything 20 minutes earlier. Didn't help.
Didn't work.
Didn't help. It's unbelievable. You want to learn though?
That's my fault. What is it?
We have time.
I want to be able to start on time because,
We're not going to start on time.
No?
8:10. I figured.
Oh, okay.
I doubt it will be.
But you know what I'm
early.
saying.
Yeah, because of the
Yeah.
shaking.
Well,
The shaking and
I
baking.
have to run to how.
Let me just open the air conditioner.
I got him.
You know that Rav Yitzchak on Yotet Kislev said,
No, let's see.
first of all, he gave a gematria. He said the Hamas is equal to V'ani Eftach Bach. It's a famous song of Yotet Kislev. So V'ani Eftach Bach equals Hamas. They said everybody who says this now should have in mind that he's killing someone from Hamas. And then he said, if there's a Rosh Yeshiva or somebody who's a big Talmid Chacham, he should have in mind that he's killing one of the main people in the Hamas, right? The top of the pyramid. But he said, but sometimes it happens that even a simple person gets to kill the very top.
That's what happened. It was just regular troops. I didn't know it was him.
So that's what he said 9 months ago. I'll show you
It was
the.
no big operation. It was just stam, you know.
Wasn't stam, but it was.
No, but I mean, it was just a
very
regular,
simple, simple guy.
nothing stam. But it was, it wasn't some special ops.
So when you see that Hashem listens to him. Okay. So let's do it. I doubt anybody will be here before 8:10.
Okay.
It's just us.
So, we'll see.
But if it changes,
Yeah.
we'll.
Well, I could just because it's call mode.
Yeah, people
we
in
can
that.
get up later. But no one's. I didn't know for years that it took me 3-4 years to realize people slept in a sukkah. And then I saw it in the Shulchan Aruch Harav. So,
You were spared.
I was there, yeah.
Okay, so we were talking last time about Malchus Datzilus. Today is the 16th of Tishrei, the 18th of October, and we're in chapter 23 of Shorish Mitzvah Tefillah from Derech Mitzvah Secha. And we're at the bottom of page 254, 5 lines for the bottom. So he said that in every act of creation, there has to be some kind of leap. And what spans that leap is, in this case, the kingdom of emanation, Malchus Datzilus, which has many, many names in Kabbalah and Chassidus. A lot of times it's called the Shechina, and it has other names as well. Ki ein melech v'lo am. And we said this is one of the reasons of creation, that in order to be a king, Hashem has to have a kingdom. He can't have a kingdom without people. V'lazot nikra alma de'itgalia. And therefore this, what he created here, or Malchus of Atzilus, which spans the gap, is called Alma De'itgalia. It's another one of its names, of Malchus Datzilus, of the kingdom of emanation. It's called the revealed world. Why? Ki ba nigla koach or ein sof livro yesh me'ayin shelo yedei ishtashlut ila ve'alul. Because through the Malchus of Atzilus, comes the power to create this separate feeling separate being here that we have, and that's called the revelation of the power of the light of the infinite. It's not even the light of the infinite, because the light of the infinite is only in Chokhmah. It's in wisdom of emanation. But here comes down the power of it. And when we say the power of it, we mean like the potential of it. And what's the potential? The potential is to create things that have an experience of something from nothing, of being from nothing, which we said doesn't mean they really came from nothing, just so you don't understand, you're not aware of your origin, which is not through ishtalshelus ila ve'alu. It's not the usual chain of creation. Why? Because there's a leap here. There has to be a leap for something like this to happen. And we said there's an even bigger leap when you talk about the creation of the physical world. The physical world is in even a greater leap. But here we're talking just about the consciousness of these creations like us that don't have the feeling that we came from something. We just feel that we came out of nothingness, as it were, suddenly, out of nowhere.
I mean, that's more than the...
No, it's less than physical reality. Physical reality doesn't even know anything about...
I see what you're saying. This has a consciousness,
okay.
Yes.
Here we have some consciousness. The important thing, though, is that we create, as it were, also beings like us, right?
Say that again.
We create beings like us. Our children.
Oh, we reproduce. Yes,
We reproduce,
yes.
and we create beings that are like us. It's very strange. You would think that. I mean, I saw him being born.
Yes.
How come he doesn't see me as his origin?
As in a sense, his right, exactly.
It's an amazing thing that the consciousness keeps going. Again, this was the whole topic of chapter 20 in the epistle 20 in the Tanya. אבל 9 הספירות הראשונות נאצלו בהשתלשלות עילה ועלול, ואור האינסוף מלובש בחוכמה לבדה. But as we said last time, the first 9 sfirot of emanation, from wisdom to foundation of emanation, these 9, they are not created, there's no leap there. So it's just called ishtalshelut ila ve'alul. It's just like the light transfers from one to the next, and they all are aware of their origin. Except for there's one difference, that in wisdom is aware of its origin as being the infinite light of the revelation, the infinite revelation of Hashem. That's the only difference. So this is what he said. This is all written in Shar Yichud Ve'emunah, the second part of the Tanya. וביאור דבריו הוא שבאר במה שאמר תחילה שהאצילות היא בבחינת ביטול בידיעתן והשגתן גם כן כביטול הזיו במקורו שלפי שנאצלו בהשתלשלות עילה ועלול. So the meaning of all this is that everything that's in Atzilus is nullified because of this before its origin. Because it's just they're aware of it. They understand where they came from. ורוצה לומר שחסד נאצל מן הבינה והחוכמה בדרך עילה ועלול. So what this means practically is that the loving kindness in the world of emanation, so for instance Avraham, right? Avraham, it's almost inevitable that he has to recognize God because he has a natural sense of nullification to a source. He recognizes the source. It just took him time like to mature. But it wasn't like us, that we are not aware of our source. He was literally aware of it. He felt it permeate in him all the time. It's a very different experience than the experience that we have. So the chesed there, the loving kindness of emanation, which we said is like the soul of Abraham, it comes out of, it's ne'etzal, it's emanated from Bina and Chochmah, and it recognizes its source in Bina and Chochmah. It's like its parents. ולפי שעלול יודע ומשיג איזה השגה בעילתון, because it recognizes its source, לכן הוא בטל אצלו על ידי ידיעה והשגה זו. So this causes him to be nullified. And that's where Abraham's nullification comes from. It's like a natural ingredient because he experiences his origin differently than we do. ועלול הוא מוקף מהעילה ובטל במציאות אליו אצלו כזיו השמש בשמש. And what comes out is called the alul. So here we have this strange, there's 2 ways in Hebrew that you say cause and effect. I think I mentioned it. One is siba and mesovav. Siba means cause, and mesovav means the effect of the cause. So it's interesting. In Hebrew, it's the same root.
Yeah, it's right. It's the same.
Siba umsuvav.
Changing the, yeah. Right.
But here we're using, but siba mesovav, cause and effect, can also be used by things that are not conscious. Sometimes we just say it as cause and effect, like you chop a tree down, it falls. Physical, right? Yeah. It's physical.
They use that.
So that's usually the term.
Okay.
But when you want to talk about things that have consciousness, you usually use ilah ve'alul. Now ilah means the same thing. Ilah and siba are synonyms. Oh. Siba is the Hebrew word. Ilah, if I'm not mistaken, is the Aramaic word. But I have to check that. In any case, ilah is considered to be higher than siba. And the effect of the ilah is called an alul. Now that's already a Hebrew word.
Ah, okay. It's not a conjugate.
Right. But they sound exactly the same. Ilah and alul.
Yeah, right.
Alul, where do we see this in the Tanakh? So King David, for instance, says, Kegamul alei imo. So that I'm like a suckling baby who's on his mother. So we say alei. But alei here is more than just on. It means that I come from my mother, that he feels it. So alul is another name for a baby. Olal. Some we say olal, alul. It means the same thing. Yeah, it's not so common, but in the Tanakh it exists.
Okay.
So that's called an effect also. Is he here? No, he won't have it anyway. So okay. No, there is already, I think. No? Anyway. והעלול הוא מוקף מהעילה. And the way that we describe this is that cause and effect is linear. We usually describe it as a linear process. That's another difference between them. We say, like the classic case is billiard balls hitting one another. So each one is the cause of the next one moving, and you think about it as linear movement.
Yes.
It's more complex, but it's linear. When we say ilah ve'alul, we mean to say that because it's conscious of its origin, the effect is conscious of the cause, then we say that the effect is encircled, or it's encompassed by the cause. Meaning, it's a derivative of the cause. It's even a
That can't be
subset.
physical. There's no
Right.
awareness.
Well, there is. Like when an amoeba separates into two, so you can say that the second amoeba that came out of the first one is the baby.
Yeah,
but it's
they
not
don't
exact.
experience. I'm confused. In other words, you're saying
No,
Sorry,
this second feature,
Yes.
that what comes out is entirely encompassed originally in the first one.
Oh, okay.
That exists in the physical world.
Yes, it does.
We have
Yeah,
that.
sure.
For instance, if you say, I don't know, chip off of a piece of wood, okay, so it was part of it
I
before.
understand.
But there's no consciousness there,
there's
so
no
it's not an
consciousness,
example.
right.
But we would expect that the child who's born from the
have
mother
the consciousness.
would have that consciousness, but it doesn't. It's missing it. Why is it? It should have normally had it. Should have completely known that it comes because it was entirely contained in the mother. So why is it? So it's a trick here that, again, he has to explain that Malchus of Atzilus has this power to do that, to create a alul, a offspring that doesn't recognize the origin. It's a very special thing. This exists in the entire human world.
You know,
It also exists in the animal world.
But it's funny, our gestation, not gestation, but most animals are born very independent. We're the least dependent.
We're the most dependent,
I meant
right?
the most
Yeah,
dependent. We're the most dependent
Right.
creature at birth.
right. And yet still we don't know. We don't.
But I mean, do you understand? It had to be like that. Otherwise, we could know. In other words,
maybe,
I'm just being
maybe.
theoretical here.
Maybe.
You hear what I'm saying? But horses they run. They can walk. I mean, it's...
Yeah. They have they finish their development in the womb.
Yeah.
And we have to finish it outside.
Right.
Ooh, good way.
But yet our gestation is relatively long, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very long. The only one that's longer is the elephant, I think.
The elephant is a longer
12 months.
gestation?
Yeah. Okay, so let's end here. And,